and you were begging me for months, Lindsay, record a pre-call VSL. And I was like, whatever. But that was the main thing. Like, I saw my sales goals started changing when I had a pre-call VSL, because they were like, okay, yeah, I seen what you did. I understand. Let's, move forward. So that was the first thing that's worked really well. And obviously hiring Leon to teach me sales.
So you're finally done with being an internet hustler trying to make 10K a month, and now you want to build a sustainable company that actually does 6 figures a month consistently, predictably, without having to do like 10K this month and 20K the next month and then 0K the next month. You know now this model is proven. I know that it works. I just need to make it predictable. I need to make it sustainable. I need to make it something that works on autopilot every single month. So that's exactly what I'm going to help you do in this video. So basically how we book 50 to 150 qualified sales calls every single month consistently. If you don't know me yet, I'm Leon. I'm the founder of Limitless Acquisition. And in the past 2 years, we've helped our clients with our systems and frameworks generate over $5.2 million in sales. So we've helped many different people with many different businesses. For example, a music production coach, helped them scale to 150K a month. AI automation agency, Aryan, the client interview, is on my YouTube channel, who we helped from zero. We literally helped him start his business in November 2024 to $77,000 a month. And there's so many other people that we've helped. This is how you're going to build a 7-figure brand in 2025 and possibly even 8-figure brand, because the foundations stay the same. It's just a different scale. 100K a month roadmap. What you absolutely need to know, the Limitless 7-figure flywheel. This is the framework we use to scale coaches and agencies, because a lot of these info businesses that you see nowadays, right, they're here today and gone tomorrow. It's only going to be a small percentage of people that actually sees it through and that gets the frameworks and systems and SOPs built to build something really sustainable. Info product businesses, agencies, and coaching businesses are very dependent on time frame, which means the time in the market and the timing in the market. Everything is constantly shifting, especially with AI right now and automation being on the horizon. And the only one that's really going to succeed is somebody who builds sustainable foundations. Here's the 100K a month scaling roadmap. I'm going to quickly rush through it. The Ghost, 0 to 1K a month, no clear skill, no offer, no niche. 6 to 10K a month, no calendar, no systems. You need to productize delivery, schedule work, client dashboard. 10, 15K a month. You are the system, which is the problem, right? You are the only one in the business doing everything, and that means it's not scalable. The operator, 30 to 50K a month. This is where you actually get a little bit good at running a business, but you usually have a lot of friction because you're overspending on micromanaging, rewriting SOPs, just doing it myself. For 30K a month, the numbers are quite easy. Cash target is 30K a month. Now, I put an average order value of 4K. Closing rate is going to be 30%. Show rate is going to be 75%. This is what we aim for with most businesses who are doing 10 to 30K a month, right? To get these stats in order for them to scale. 100K a month, right? Same stats. It's going to be about 111 booked calls. Here it's going to be about 33 booked calls. And in those cases, you probably need somewhere from 3,000 to 11,000 leads. Now, your 7-figure growth team is going to be very simple most of the time, between 0 and 100K per month. You are the founder, of course. You're going to have a closer. You're going to have a growth specialist, a content specialist, and a VA. And these two are the first hires you want to make. I'm going to get into that later as to why. We have about 6 different client acquisition methods that I'm going to show you in this video. But literally with only one of them, you can already scale 30, 50K a month. So you don't need all 6. And that's the best part of them, right? They're extremely efficient and they work extremely well. So your funnel is usually going to look something like this. Your leads are going to come into your ecosystem. You're going to book them on a 45-minute sales call. Before the sales call, they get to watch your 7-figure pre-call video, and that will pre-sell them, pre-frame them, and then you sell them on the call, you close them, and then basically they get into your offer, you deliver the service, you get a great testimonial, and then these testimonials will fuel your ecosystem again. You need great client results. Our success rate is extremely high because we give a lot of attention to every single one of our clients. It doesn't matter if you come into our done for you offer or done with you offer, we give you a lot of attention, a lot of it, right? And that's why our clients do extremely well, because we really do provide that one-on-one assistance. It's not like, oh, let's throw you into something, get the next client, get the next client. No, we really here for the long term. And this is what you need to switch in your mind. You cannot think about cash short term, because you will not be able to produce enough client results for people to be like, yes, I need to get into this. If you don't have a system for you to get great client results consistently, you will never get the full potential out of scaling a company, right? And it's just not sustainable. So you're going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Focus on having an amazing service first that gets great client results before you scale it to the moon. Now, the 7-figure offer works very simple, and that's why it's so effective. We don't see your offer as a simple tagline that's going to make people buy instantly, right? And if you ever saw it like that, it's a complete mistake, right? A lot of people think, oh, I have this one sentence, and once I figure out this one sentence, everybody's going to buy from me. No, they're not, right? Trust, quality, authority are super key. Your offer doesn't mean shit unless it's backed up by couple systems and frameworks that actually show that you're able to deliver on the promise, right? So we see the offer as a proxy to motivate strangers to book a call with you, nothing more. Ultimately, what you do for them, that is what truly is your service. So this basically affects the quality of people in your funnel as well as the quantity of people in your funnel. The better the positioning of your offer, the higher quality of people you're going to get. The more risk-free your offer, the more quantity of people you're going to get. So you want to strike the right balance between positioning and risk-freeness, because some of the risk-free offers that are like super over the moon, you get all of this or you don't pay, they can actually repel the premium clients that you're trying to attract. Now we have a founder-based offer and an outcome-based offer. For cold traffic, a founder-based offer is usually low perceived value. This is in coaching, right? Where it's extremely important that you have high authority and high positioning, which you only build through content and an ecosystem, because that allows people to build a bond with you, and that makes them able to pay high prices. So once you have that, then the perceived value goes up. For cold traffic, we want an outcome-based offer that has a high perceived value. So this is something like 20 high-ticket clients or 50 to 150 qualified appointments, because it's not dependent upon me what the value is to your business, right? Once you start booking 50 to 150 qualified appointments like we did with so many other people, right, that we helped, then the revenue you're going to get from that is like an outsized return, right? So Arjan, he pretty much made like a 50x on return on investment in investing with us and joining us, right? And us helping him make the money he's making right now. The best thing to have, of course, is when people trust you, like you, and you have an outcome-based offer, and they really see you as an authority, because that will give you the highest perceived value. Up until the point that you actually close somebody and they get into your program or your service, it only is about the perceived value. I don't care how amazing your service is or how amazing your coaching program is. If the prospect doesn't see it in their mind, if they don't perceive the value, they will not buy, and you will usually get all these objections of, I need to think about it, I need to talk to my partner, I need to talk to my buddy, I need to talk to my girlfriend, it sounds expensive, I don't have the money for that. When people see the perceived value, they will close 100% of the time, all the time. The only time people don't want to sign on is they think that there's something else that has a higher value than that you're offering them. So every single person that we work with, we always make sure that the offer is dialed in, that we know that it's the highest perceived value as possible. And this goes directly into the sales call pitch, right? So the pitch is the thing where the offer actually comes to life. It's not on your landing page. The landing page with the hero promise is just a proxy to motivate strangers to book a call on your calendar. But the pitch in your sales call is what gets them across the finish line. That's what actually converts them. Because if my landing page says 20 high-ticket clients in 90 days, or you don't pay and you get all your money back, then if I have a shitty sales call, they're not going to buy. Right? So I still need to have an insanely great pitch. Lanzi, for example, when she joined, she wasn't able to do sales calls. She would literally almost burst into tears upon the idea of hopping on a sales call. Not even 3 months later, she's closing 25K in sales calls all by herself. Literally. Right? Because we provided her with these simple frameworks that we use. Because long before we started our own business, we were a high-ticket closer for a long time with the best closing rates in the teams that we worked in. So we know how to best train and manage sales reps, which also means like we train a lot of founders into becoming closers for their own services. Almost always, if your cold traffic is not converting, it's just you have a shitty offer. Your offer is not resonant with the market. So moving on to the actual delivery structure, most people are always thinking, oh, should I do done for you or done with you or do it yourself? Should I sell digital products? There's only one thing you need to sell, and that's a dream outcome. And then you build your product suite around that outcome. So for example, 50 to 150 qualified sales calls every single month. We have it done for you, where we do it all for you. We implement all the systems for you. We hire the setter for you. We hire the closer for you. We do all of it for you. That is the highest perceived value, right? Also the highest price. Then we get our clients to have it done with. So I consult you. I tell you exactly what to do. I give you all the systems. I give you all the frameworks. I help you implement it. I tell you what you're doing wrong. I tell you what you're doing right. And you're able to do it by yourself. And then ultimately you can get the same dream outcome as the people in our done for you. It might just take a little bit more time or even less time. Who knows? Maybe you're super talented and you add something on yourself and boom, you scale to the moon very easily, right? That happens a lot in our program as well, as for example with Arjan. And then you have the do-it-yourself layer. This is the info product. So when you focus all your attention on your done for you, you're gonna build systems, you're gonna build SOPs, you're gonna have hiring sequences, you're gonna have all these amazing things that you're building out, all these amazing systems. The only thing you need to do is just record videos of those systems, and now you have a program. Now you have a sellable asset that you can just sell for passive. A lot of the people that are gonna come in through these sales calls, they're not gonna be qualified to buy your highly recurring service, or they don't trust you enough yet. In that case, you downsell them into the done with you or do it yourself for them to get the same outcome, because that's what they care about, right? People want an outcome. And if you're able to give them that, they just wanna take the fastest route there, right? So you already know that with a do it yourself, you're at least gonna get there faster than by yourself. So I already know, even if I sell you into a do it yourself and you might not have enough money for the done for you, you're going to get insane results. And that's going to motivate you, because if you see like, oh shit, this is that good, then you're going to be like, then what must this program be like? Then once you join my program, you're going to be like, damn, if this is that good, how good must this done for you be? And then you're going to join my done, because through you ascending, you're going to make more and more money. And the easiest way to do this is you just focus on your dream outcome. Don't focus on, I want to build a coaching business. Focus on the transformation. What are you solving for people? And if I solve that problem the best possible way, in the fastest possible way, then from that, it will create the different layers of the products that I'm able to sell, right? That's all. If you just focus on the dream outcome and you build as much as possible to make that happen as fast and quickly, as efficiently as possible, naturally you will have a great done for you service. Naturally you will have an amazing coaching service, and naturally you will have amazing courses and products. And these can be templates, it can be a literal video course, it can be books, it can be softwares. It doesn't matter, right? Because if you just focus on the dream outcome, it gives you so much freedom to suddenly build amazing things. But how are you actually going to attract the leads? How's the IG funnel going to work? Your ability to generate high quality leads will be the single most impactful thing when it comes to scaling. And from all of our work with all of our best clients over the years, we get the best results when we implement about 6 different lead generation methods on Instagram. So most people only use like reels or ads. That's extremely limited, right? And it doesn't build your profile engagement a lot. So we basically have a couple automated softwares and systems to help you nurture, build an insane authority, and also help you attract the most high quality leads. So we have the IG Auto outbound scaling software, IG Shadow Growth software, Evergreen VA system, Trust Ecosystem, and a Meta Ads. These are all gonna be led to your profile or a reel or a story, and that's ultimately going to lead to conversations, and those conversations are going to book you calls. Profile is going to lead people to a free training or a landing page, which also will lead to more booked calls. So your bio is very simple. It works the same as a landing page. Your offer, a client result, and then a CTA. Now your highlights will be all about client results, job applications, so where people can actually apply for a position in your company, and you're gonna have a quick explanation or a FAQ about your service, right? So this is basically where you answer the most common questions about your service. And you basically explain what you do for people and how you do it and how you get them this result. That's how you actually turn your profile into a funnel rather than just a pretty business card. Auto outbound scaling software, this is one of the best softwares to get a massive amount of leads very quickly. Now, I might have heard people talk about mass DMs. Mass DMs in itself is pretty ass, but we have a bit of a different approach. So basically what we create is first your verified acquisition list. This is what basically all of these strategies will live and die by, right? And when people talk about like stealing leads from competitors or generating leads on Instagram, most of the time it's pretty ass, because what they do is they just take the competitors' followers, what I call level 1 scraping. And this on average gets you about 42% ICP. It's mostly gonna be random people, spam followers, dead accounts, and third world country. And it will waste a lot of your time on your setters, your growth specialists, the people you've hired, and it's just gonna waste your time as well if you're doing the outreach yourself. Then we have level 2 scraping, which is competitor likes. The problem with this is it's low volume and you also get a lot of spam accounts. Then you have level 3 scraping, which is competitor ads. And there's like literally people selling whole programs on stealing leads from their competitors' ad spend. They're like, why would you spend on your own ads if you can just use your competitors? And it's so stupid that people don't understand this. But most of the time, their program is like 8K or 9K. And then you go into their program and they're literally like, here, see, this is my client who literally generated 5 stolen leads today. I want you to think for 1 second, if I spent $8,000 to get 5 leads a day, that's going to be 150 leads. Mind you, not all these 5 are going to be qualified. The whole system basically is like, okay, they scrape their competitors' ads with a software. Then the software is going to interact with the people that they scraped from the ads. And then those people are going to see like, oh, that you like their story or that you followed them. And then they are going to be like, oh, wow, he followed me. I'm going to follow him back. And then you start a conversation with them and then you appointment set them. I want you to think about this for a second. If you get 5 people a day from the stolen competitor's ad spend, that's going to be 150 leads. $8,000 to pay for that service. I'm going to calculate you right now. It just cost you $53 per lead. Those same $8,000 could be spent on ads, which could probably get you, if you have, let's say, even a high cost per lead of $10, depending also which offer you run, which niche, it's going to be 800 leads. So you just wasted about $6,000 paying expensive leads who are not even that qualified. Low volume, and you have a lack of authority. So that's why we figured out a whole new scraping method, which is going to be about 90% ICP or higher. They're all active, so no dead spam ghost accounts, and they're all looking for a solution right now. So I'm just going to show you, right? So this is basically what we used in the past as well, right? Which is basically the level 1 scraping, competitors follower. Now, OrVA was interacting with all of these accounts. We have a whole extensive SOP on how to qualify a profile, right? So basically she had to qualify the profiles as either yes, qualified, no, not a business, or no, can't message, because people sometimes have their message inbox closed. I want you to see how many of these people were actually qualified. All the no's, look at all the no's. I counted the no's, 186. This is from a good profile in my niche, a competitor of mine. 78 is actually active. That means their following is also fucked, right? They have like 42% good following. The problem with this is most of the people in your niche, especially in the info niche and agency niche, they all buy followers the moment they start their business to show authority, because they think like, oh, if I buy a lot of followers, it will increase my authority and it's going to make it easier to make sales, which sometimes does work. So this is from our verified acquisition list. And I didn't have my VA go through this list yet, but I'm just going to show you. Qualified for our niche, right? Copywriter. Qualified health and fitness coach. Qualified. And I mean qualified, and this person probably has the money to buy from us. Semi-qualified. When I tell you unqualified, this is what I mean, right? Ghost account. Just a random one. Lily AI, 0 followers, 0 following. Okay, this is a qualified one, Sergio. Internet money. Yeah, seems qualified. Another one. 1 follower. Like, come on, guys. You're going to waste your time sending messages, trying to engage with these kind of accounts. If you have somebody doing that automatic software for you, and they're basically letting you engage with these kind of accounts, what's the point? Right? What is the fucking point? You're going to lose out on 60% effectiveness. There's no point, right? You need to have a higher level method. So that's why we use the software, right? So we basically get an acquisition list. Then we have 1,000 high quality IG accounts, 1,000 static residential proxies, or actually mobile proxies. We run them through a PI filter software. So basically it is an AI that qualifies the profile, that can see if the profile is qualified or not. That's how we get this extremely qualified list. Then we have a 7-figure DM framework. So this is an IG DM strategy for client acquisition. Read carefully. You can pause the video if you want to read it. I'm not going to read it all out. And then the software is basically going to do the outbound. So it's going to send all these people from this verified acquisition list a IG message, which basically you can configure, which is based on this framework. It's going to run the software, and that's going to send them to either a free training, a lead magnet, or directly to your profile. Then a growth specialist is going to appointment set them or your VA. And that's how you're going to book a lot of calls. From this software alone, you can pretty much scale to 30 to 50K a month if you just do this consistently. The costs are pretty low, so you can get high ROAS. Auto shadow growth system. So problem with most people when they run an IG software is that it runs from a computer, and then you get just instantly banned. Like, it will take 1 day, right? Believe me, it will take 1 day for Instagram to pick up and be like, it seems like you're using automation, and then your account gets shut down for a day. If you keep using it, they'll shut it down for 7 days. If you keep using it, they will ban you for life, right? So basically, we have a phone farm, which actually with AI and automation again, basically, and that's gonna do the story likes, the post interactions, the comment replies, the auto first contact, and auto follow unfollow. These are all gonna be launched towards your profile, and that's all gonna result in basically people who are gonna follow you as well. So you're going to get about 100 to 200, 300, 400, 500 followers from this every single month, depending on the quality of your profile. The higher the quality of your profile, the more people will follow you back. Growth specialist / VA, book them on a call, boom, you got more close calls. These two systems alone, you're already generating a fuck ton of leads, and it only gets better because the thing is, this is a flywheel, right? Why do we call it a flywheel? A flywheel is something that reinforces itself, right? So the better it gets, the better it gets. Right? So the more followers you get, the higher the authority of your profile. The more you engage with other people, the higher Instagram rates your profile because you're actually an active user. So now even when you post reels, when you post stories, you're going to get more views. And that again increases the status of your profile, which is going to get you even better results from all of these systems. So all of these systems reinforce the growth of your profile, the authority of your profile, and the gravity of your profile in the algorithm, which is going to get you, again, more likes, more followers, more engagers, more people who are interested in you, increase your authority, increase your trust, and ultimately get you more clients. Then we have the amazing VA system. And this is fucking amazing because it automates everything. You literally don't have to lift a single finger, and you're just going to get calls booked in your calendar for a very, very, very low cost. So the ROI is extremely, extremely insane, right? So I even have a picture of this somewhere. This IGVA strategy is giving me a 24.88 ROI. So literally we literally paid like $420 to the VA. And I think when I look back, it was even less than that. It was like literally just 170 or something. But I thought that would be a little bit unbelievable. So I just made it 420. But in reality, it was like $150 that we paid the VA. And from that system alone, we collected 10.4K in that single week, which was basically 100x ROI without sending a single cold DM or sales, right? So basically a verified acquisition list, gonna combine that with a growth specialist or VA. Then we're gonna use ManyChat to create a bunch of voice messages, which are with our pitch, a bunch of ejection handles, and basically every single message that's gonna make it sound like the person that they reach out to is actually talking to you, right? So the biggest problem with a lot of people when they do outreach from VAs or growth specialists is that it just doesn't sound like you, right? It just sounds like they're talking to this bot or this AI or this random Filipino VA. And that just turns people off instantly. So here you can see his salary, $140 a month. Outbound setter, IG, 86 applicants in about like 2 weeks, 533 hits, right? And basically they're going to take this acquisition list. You're going to give it to them. They're going to use this sequence. We build a whole SOP with a whole trading library of who to send, what to send, when to send it, where to send it, and how to send it. We basically give them the full training that they need so they can literally send outbound DMs on autopilot every single day. And the most amazing thing is you can scale it very easily with multiple profiles. So you can make testimonial pages where you basically have your profile, you duplicate it, and then have a bunch of testimonials and let them send basically from that account. And it's going to be 50 messages per day per account. You know, if you have 6 accounts, that's 300 messages a day. That's going to be about 9,000 leads per month, 11K leads for you to make 30 to 100K a month. IG clients flywheel. This is like the bread and butter of your Instagram funnel. And it's basically revolves around your stories and your reels, right? Because Instagram is still a content platform. Now, what most people used to do is like these ads with, if you're a coach and agency and you struggle with getting more qualified leads and appointments, then give me a follow. Because in the next 30 days, I'm going to upload a bunch of value on how you can get more clients for your high ticket business. That stuff does not work anymore, right? Like if you're struggling with bloating and this, give me a follow, because nobody's going to follow you anymore in 2025 because you said, if you're struggling with this pain, give me a follow, right? Today's day, people are a lot more sophisticated. They understand that these are just tricks to get you into the funnel. You're going to get a 0 to 5% conversion rate. It's going to be extremely low. So the game is all about belief shifting reels, transformational reels, and high value lead magnets. This is the only way that you're going to get consistent high ticket leads for your business that are actually qualitative and that are actually qualified. And they're going to use ManyChat to comment reply and give away a playbook, a system, something that they can cost per profile visit 80 cents. I've had lower. I've had as low as 20%. When you use static ads, you're going to get a cost of like 20 cents, right? So if I use this 23 clients in 3 days, I boost this, I get about 20 cents per profile visit, sometimes even 15 cents. This one is higher, but the cost per follower is way better, right? So $150 spent got 67 likes. So that's about $2 per follower, right? $2.20 or something. 1,600 profile visits, 42 cents, right? This is another one. 206 followers with a $700. So that's almost $3.50 per follower. When you actually give away amazing value, it actually gets you followers for a lot less. People are actually going to share it with their friends. Nobody usually shares those things where it's like a little bit of bait, right? So it's just a client result or just an amazing result. Nobody really shares that. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you have to look at this, right? But if you give amazing value, people are going to be like, yo, I got to send this to my friend or my business partner or the other guy who's also hustling, right? So you want to create things that people are actually going to share and that actually help them, because again, it builds trust, right? Trust is the currency in 2025. People are not going to buy from you anymore just because you give them a cool promise. They need to trust you. And then we have credibility stories, right? And this is basically your daily landing page. This is extremely potent because this allows you to nurture leads every single day. What you're going to share here is not just pictures of your food or you going to swim, right? That doesn't matter. If you're selling B2B, you want to show progress in operations, right? So this gives people the knowledge that I'm working on my business. Social proof, right? You want to show here from 2 to 18K a month in 90 days. We have Lanzi Skiller Agency, 11.5K in 7 days for Noah. From working 9 to 5 at Ticketmaster in November 2024 to 30.5K in 9 days. Good start of May, 15K last 4 days. A bit slow, not gonna lie, right? So show your own results as well. Experience, right? So show that you have experience, that you're good at what you do. Q&As, right? Where people can just ask questions. Founder values and insights. Your inner circle should be based on 3 things: loyalty to growth, no stagnation, strategic alignment, energy, and vibe. This shows that these are my values, which allows people to go like, I connect with him, right? So what you upload shows what kind of standards and values you have. And that is more decisive when people buy from you than anything else, right? Because that dictates how good the results are going to be in the program. If you have extremely high standards and you show that you're waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, no matter what, that even in itself is a status signal, because that makes people go like, okay, this guy's really serious about business. That must mean he has great results. So if you show high status values and you share that you care about these things, people are going to associate and resonate with you on. Then people with similar standards and values are going to resonate with you. Announcements. So every time you're releasing something, you're launching something, you're updating, you're bringing a new product to the market, funnel, whatever. Conversion mechanism, right? Show your conversion mechanism at work, especially for agencies. Show that you're actually getting results, what your system is doing for people. Conversion CTAs, every once in a while, don't spam people every day with buy my program, buy my agency, buy my service. We drop our CTAs when we know it's the right time, when we know people are ready to become a client. So you nurture them through these stories. Then they feel like this is inevitable. They feel like you are the person that they need. Boom, we drop a CTA. They're already sold. You get them on a sales call. Now you have a new client with the least amount of effort, right? We don't want to have high friction sales calls that we're on call every day. And then we have to convince prospects and like 2 hours long, try to teach them everything about funnels and methods. Don't do that. We sell when people are ready to buy. That's how you're going to have the least friction funnel. DM, call, offer, doc, payment. Buyer psychology is extremely important, right? Your reels cannot be random. Too many people, they're like, oh, what content should I post? And then they look at another profile and then they try to post similar things. This will never be sustainable because you're not that person, right? If you understand buyer psychology, you will never run out of content ideas. The 7 deepest human drivers. Human drivers create pull marketing. With the 7 deepest human drivers, you're going to have pull marketing. People are going to be extremely magnetized to your funnel. The 7 deepest human pains create urgency. People are going to be like, I need your solution right now, because they realize the cost of inaction. How to say it the right way is going to get you, again, to say things the right way. People are always like, oh, can I put a Lambo on my story? Or oh, I don't want to sound like this guy. It's because how you say it. It's not what you say. Let me show you the difference, right? One guy's like, I got this Lambo because all of you fuckers are lazy and I'm the big G. you're going to be like, fuck this guy. But if somebody's like, man, I used to struggle so hard. I was in an apartment. I was making $10 an hour. I was super broke. And one of my big dreams was to buy a Lambo. And today I finally bought it. People are going to be applauding, right? Because it's inspiring, right? It's all about how you show it. It's not what you show. 11 core content principles for funnel attraction. There's no reason to build a funnel if you don't even understand the foundations of a funnel. 10 steps of market awareness progression. Most people only know 5, right? They're like, oh, problem aware, solution aware, pain aware, product aware, fully aware, right? That is only 5. There's actually 10 steps when it comes to making a buying decision. And if you fuck up one of these steps, you can just run a funnel for like a year, not really convert, and never understand why it isn't converting. When you understand the 10 steps, you will never struggle again because you know exactly. So this is where the bottleneck is in my funnel. In terms of market awareness, if I just fix that, boom, it's done. They become clients fast because they went through the whole awareness progression by themselves through your funnel. 112 conversion angles, 67 magnetic human triggers. So these are all-time principles that if you make content around these, people are going to like you more, trust you more, see you more as an authority. And there are certain angles that you just never want to market. So with these, you always know what content to make. And then the key is in intentional content. There's only 4 categories that really convert people. Inspirational content, so that shows any kind of transformation. Reframing content, which shifts their beliefs and gets them into a place where they're willing to buy. Enchanting content, which shows the lifestyle, the behind the scenes, the life signals, the status signals, which make them see you as an authority. And then the educational content, which makes them actually say, okay, this person knows how to do it. If you can inspire somebody and show them if he can do it, or if I can do it, you can do it too. You can shift their beliefs to understand all the limitations that you thought are keeping you stuck. You don't need to have them and you can move forward. You enchant them, so you show that once you move forward, your life is actually going to improve so much. And you educate them, so actually, and I know the way on how to get there, they're sold, right? They're going to buy, they're going to become a client. And that's basically your lead farm. It's going to get you so many leads who are ready to buy, who are pre-framed, pre-sold. We use all these automations to make our VA system extremely effortless. Because if you have to do all of it yourself, right, there's no purpose, right? So that's why we use all these voice messages. When people have objections, boom, voice message, you handled it. They're like, oh shit, I've never seen that before. Because usually when people say something, a setter is going to fumble their way through it. And they're going to be like in the group app, like, hey, this lead said this, what should I say? You have an SOP where your setter immediately knows, oh, once the person says this, I just send this voice message, boom, it's handled, it's done. And then the last part of the Instagram funnel, right? So 7-figure flywheel ad. So what do most people do? They run a direct ad to people. Book a call, buy my product. People are not going to convert, right? And that's extremely low value. It's extremely needy. It gives you very weak positioning, and it also just costs a lot of money. This is how you get people to book like calls for $200 a call, $300 a call. Your customer acquisition cost is going to race through the roof. If you walk through the mall and somebody suddenly comes up to you, hey, buy this shoe, what are you going to say? You're going to say, oh, no, thank you. I'm not interested right now. Listen to the words, I'm not interested right now. So what we do instead is we create an ad system. You have a stranger, they're going to enter your world. Now, first we grab their attention, we create a first impression, and we create curiosity, which shows high status. So we have a credibility asset, a trust asset, or a value asset. This allows the stranger to create a connection with you, and then we optimize for 10-second throughplay. So only if they watch this video in this stage for 10 seconds, where we don't pitch them at all, right? We just build credibility, trust, and value, and they say like, oh shit, this is a very, very cool person. Only if they've watched for 10 seconds, they're gonna move to the next stage. We're gonna retarget them with a subliminal offer or an authority asset. So this is basically where we show on a high level what you do, but we don't pitch them. So this video is a perfect example, right? I'm explaining you a whole funnel, but I'm not telling you to buy anything, right? I don't have anything to sell you. I'm just giving you value, right? So this is where we give some value that shows them, oh, that you get the result that they're looking for. Then once they've seen that for 10 seconds, right, we retarget the people who went through that stage with a relatability asset. So now we built rapport, right? Once we built rapport, they like you. Right? So this is what gets people interested. This is what gets them like, oh shit, who's this person? Attention and interest. This is what creates the desire. Oh, okay, this person has something that I want to have. Then this is what makes you like them. Okay, this is actually the person I would like to buy from. And then once we got them there, that's when we send them to our irresistible offer reel or a static ad. Right, so here's some examples of like AI static ads. So here, for example, this AI flywheel funnel brings me 50 to 150 qualified sales calls every 30 days. Click below to unlock the system that scaled my coaching business to 100K a month. By the time they see this, they've built a bond with me. They like me. They see me as an authority. They've established trust. So this person is way more likely to click than the person who literally is a stranger who's scrolling Instagram and then randomly encounters this ad. He doesn't know me. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't know why he should listen to me. So it's basically just like a random person on the street screaming at them. When we go through this extremely sophisticated funnel, the person is like, oh, that's Leon. I like Leon. What does he have? Oh, he actually has an offer. Wow, sick. Let's see. You book them on a call. You send them a pre-call VSL. Now it's sold, right? They've already been sold here. This is your marketing. They booked a call. They seen your pre-call VSL, which pre-frames and nurtures them even more, pre-sells even more, close. 10K, 15K paid in full. If you run a cold static ad with a stranger, you know what the average cash collected is on getting a stranger to buy from cold? It's $700. This is not just random stats from me. This is from Alex Hormozy. He runs a portfolio company. He has massive amounts of data, right? To get a stranger to buy your offer, your average cash collected is going to be $700. With this funnel, you can get a paid in full 10K, 15K. The difference is insane. So not only does the cost of a sales call go down to about $20 to $40, the ROI on the person buying is also going to be 4 to 5x, right? The person, if you trust somebody, you're going to spend 5 to 10x than a person who doesn't trust you, who doesn't know you. This is our full 7-figure IG funnel. And I haven't even spoken about the LinkedIn funnel, which is insane. If you want to book 100 to 200 sales calls, completely inbound, no outbound whatsoever, LinkedIn is the fucking game. LinkedIn is the game. Profile funnel, automated outreach, right? Again, growth assistance going to help you. We automate your outreach with AI as well. And then boom, LinkedIn appointment setting frameworks, systems that we use to literally train all the setters, all the people on LinkedIn in our program. And that's literally how Noah went from 0 to 20K a month, completely off inbound. Arjan went from 0 to 77K a month, completely off inbound. Lanzi doing 25K a month, completely off inbound. Turn doing 20K a month, completely off inbound. Only LinkedIn, no IG, nothing, right? They don't even like Arjan's IG is just like 2 random pictures or something. Lanzi's IG is completely different. Noah Tasler's IG is just him going on vacation, right? These are extremely sophisticated funnels for you to profit. And then boom, LinkedIn copywriter, write your post. You're going to get this 2.5K comments, 400 comments, 280 comments, 333 comments, 279 comments. This amount of engagement is insane, right? And it's going to book them an insane amount of inbound calls. If you get 2,500 comments on LinkedIn, bet that you're going to get 250 appointments. 10 comments about 1 appointment. Now, the last line is the 7-figure conversion suite. You got a lot of book calls. Now you need to convert them. If you do not have a pre-call VSL, it's done. So I was on a call with a couple of my clients. I asked them, what is the successful actions that you took in the last 2 months that have contributed to like your success right now? Right? And this is literally what Lanzi said.
Okay, so the first thing that came to mind was a pre-call VSL. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. And you were begging me for months, Lindsay, record a pre-call VSL. And I was like, whatever. But that was the main thing. Like, I saw my sales goals started changing when I had a pre-call VSL because they were like, okay, yeah, I seen what you did. I understand. Let's, move forward. So that was the first thing that's worked really well. And obviously hiring Leon to teach me sales, but not so good before that. So sales training was a major plus. And then configuring my Calendly link to ask the right questions. So previously it was just like a bunch of questions that you have to write a paragraph for, and so basically configured it to bullet lists or clicking tick boxes.
So everything that she spoke about, I told her like implement this, implement that, do this, do that, right? Hey, on a Calendly, your questions are too open, make them closed. Do this, implement the pre-call VSL, train her on sales 1-to-1, right? Boom, 3 to 25K a month, literally 3 months. So how do we actually pre-frame and pre-sell? It's actually super easy, right? We create value, we rewire beliefs, and we educate. That's gonna pre-frame them. That's gonna get them from I'm not able to do this, or maybe I'm able to do this, like I can do this with help. Pre-sell is authority, trust, social proof. So once you see like, okay, Leon is extremely smart. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for years. He's helped so many people do the same thing. I trust him, right? I know that if I hire Leon and Noah, I'm going to scale my business and I'm going to make more money. That is what you believe. Very simple. And this is where we take you from, hey, I can't do it, to yes, you can. Right? You just lack the systems. You just lack the frameworks, right? Lanzi wasn't able to do it. Arjan didn't even have a business. Matthias didn't even have a business. They were not in a position where they thought like, oh yeah, I can make tens of thousands of dollars a month. We pre-framed them, right? And that made them shift their entire identity, their beliefs, to become a person who's capable of earning 6 to 7 figures. And then, right, we showed them exactly what they needed to see for them to be like, okay, I trust you and you know what you're doing, and you know what you're talking about. So I'm going to listen to you, follow your instructions, and make a lot of money. And then they make a lot of money. That's also why we get the absolute best client results in the market. That's why we are the best coaches on the market. That's not me saying that. That's my client saying that, right? Matthias said that. Noah said that. Arjan said that. They all say that. You're the best guys on the market. I've bought so many programs. You are the best in the market. I've never seen any kind of attention like this. I've never seen anybody personally guide me like this ever in my life. Right? It's what they all say. So why do we need this? Because again, if people don't trust you, if we don't rewire the limiting beliefs, if we don't pre-frame, pre-sell, you're going to get extremely low conversion rates, right? Cold leads, 1% booking rate, 30% show up rate, 2,500 average spend. Actually, it's way lower. It's about 700. If you're good at sales, you could get 2,500 out of a cold lead. But again, extremely difficult. Warm lead, boom, $4,000 average spend upfront on the first call. Hot leads, 7.5K or even higher. Your show rate, your booking rate, your closing rate is all gonna boost exponentially. The more you pre-frame, pre-sell people, make them trust you, the easier to close, the more money you make. So that's why we get our clients to all have extremely good pre-framing and pre-selling signals in their funnel. And then personalized $1 million sales script, right? So if you don't run a sales script, you cannot scale a company. I love people that are able to sell with no script. I can sell with no script, right? It just shows expertise, and you know that you're fucking good at sales once you can sell without a sales script and you can just close consistently. But it's not scalable. I cannot just go to my closers and say like, yeah, so just sell with no script, right? That's not scalable. If you want to scale something, you got to take into account we have this specific script with this conversion rate, right? When somebody does everything right, they follow the script, they're going to get this conversion rate. So that means you have all the objection handles written out. Every rep of you says the exact same thing. Once people say there's certain objection, they have certain ammunitions, they have certain informations that they know, like once people do this, I say this. If they say this, I say that. If they do this, I do that, right? It has to be extremely clear. So this personalized $1 million sales script, this is 56 pages. It's literally from like the beginning of the sales call to the end of the sales call, everything you do on the sales call, what you do after the sales call, how to handle payment failures, how to handle if they can't pay right now, what to say if they say I need to think about it, how to get a deposit, everything, literally everything is in there, right? And it also has the AI prompts for you to generate the specific questions and answers that you need for your specific offer and your niche. And then the post-call protocol. That's the last part of the conversion. Most people think if I just collect the payment, the close is done. No, it's not. It's not done, right? People can still be like, hey, you know what? Actually, I want a refund. I don't want to work with you, right? That can still happen. So we need to get the yes on the call. Once you get the yes on the call and you collect the payment, now is the most important time that you cannot fuck it up, right? This is the most important time where you have to have this extremely dialed in for you to profit. So on the call, you immediately create the Slack channel, the WhatsApp channel, or whatever it is where you're going to communicate with this person. This will immediately give them the feeling that they're actually in it. If I say, oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to create a Slack channel, you'll see it coming along. It doesn't give you the feeling of I entered something, right? It's like the same if like you go to the movies, you buy the ticket and then they let you into the paid area, right? Now you feel like I'm in, right? I'm in. That's the feeling we need to create. That's why we immediately create the collaboration communication channel. 1 minute after the call, we immediately send the welcome message, or even still on the call. Welcome message, welcome to the program, or welcome to this, or happy to have you on board as a client. Here's all the instructions. So here's the calendar link to book your onboarding call. Here's the onboarding form. Please fill that in. Have some congratulations, build some hype, and have something that makes them feel like, okay, nice, I'm in this. Onboarding call always within 24 hours, right? Sometimes 48, worst case 72, never later than that, right? Get people in it immediately, give them immediately the feeling that we're working, we're making progress. The purpose of the onboarding call is not just to show them the platform. That is not it. You want to resell them on the solution. This is extremely important, crucial. If you don't do this, again, you have a higher chance of refund. So it's basically you do the same that you did on the sales call. You ask them about their problems, the desires, the goals, the KPIs, the milestones they want to hit. And you get super clear on where are we right now and where are we going and why is this important to you right now? Because if I get them to answer that again on the onboarding call, I know they're in. I know they're a client now. I know we're good. If I ask them like, why is this important for you to fix this right now? This and this and this. Okay. And why did you decide to work with us specifically? This and this and this. Okay, awesome. Now it's locked in. It's very weird for somebody to go like, oh yeah, and the reason I want to work with you guys is because this and this and this, and it's important for me because right now we're in this stage and this stage. you know what? I want a refund. That doesn't make sense, right? Because people want to be congruent to what they say. So you resell them on a solution by asking them simple questions. Then you hype them up. You create a game plan for the next coming weeks or months, however long your service is. You set the expectations right in terms of communication. So this is how much we communicate. This is when we communicate. Or you can just ask them, hey, what do you prefer? Do you want to set up a weekly call every single week on this day? Or do you prefer to just book in a call whenever you feel like it? Do you want us to prompt you when is the best time to book a call? What do you want, right? And that will give them the idea like, okay, this person is really here for me. He cares about me. Then you want to create an immediate plan for quick wins, right? So with all of our people, we always know like, okay, you're here right now. Do this. So you're going to get at least your investment back in the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? So that's what we focus on immediately. Getting your investment back. Okay, you invested with us. Let's make a quick win so you feel like, boom, this is it. I invested. I know that I invested in the right place and I'm actually getting results immediately. Then give them the dashboard, whatever it is that you have, or CRM or whatever software, and then introduce them to the team. That's the onboarding call. Onboarding form is going to be a bunch of questions. Most key questions. What is the reason you decided to work with us? Absolutely key question as well for you to data analyze, to know like, oh, this is why people buy from us, right? And you can use that in your marketing and sales assets. Generate the contract, the invoice, tag them, and then possibly send them a gift, and then give them access to everything, right? So for example, once people are done with you or do it yourself, filling the onboarding form, they instantly get a link to all the scaling materials and the systems. So they don't have to wait, right? They don't have to wait even on the onboarding call. If they fill in the onboarding form before the onboarding call even takes place, again, they instantly have access, they instantly know what to do, and they instantly can move forward. So that is it, guys. That is literally how you go from cold to sold. And as you scale, you need to hire more people, build out your teams, client success managers, editors, copywriters, recording systems. So you might be like, okay, Leon, this looks amazing, but how do I actually create the irresistible offer that's guaranteed to get my exact ICP to be interested in my product or service, even though my market is saturated with so many similar offers? What ad copy do I run? What's the best setup for Meta's most recent AI updates? How exactly do I pre-structure my pre-call VSL to pre-frame and pre-sell prospects? How do I close a cold stranger on a 45-minute sales call and handle all their objections? And how do I scale my team and set up these systems? Then basically you can subscribe to my channel and wait for videos like these to answer those questions. Or if you just want to make progress fast because you know business is about speed, go to the description or pinned comment and book in a call to work with us on a one-on-one basis where we either do everything for you or we do it all with you and we give you all these exact systems and how to set them up.